The right, or better said, the correct reaction from Trump and MAGA to the news that Joe Biden is stepping aside and that a new, obviously younger candidate, be it Kamala Harris or someone else, is coming forward, should terrify Trump. And it is terrifying Trump. Trump having a complete and total childish poop in the sandbox so nobody else can use it tantrum on Truth Social. He's terrified about having to run against Kamala Harris, and he should be, because she will wipe the floor with him in debates if Trump agrees to any, which he's already setting up not to, because he's terrified. Newt Gingrich, Mike Johnson, others, they are complaining this violates democracy. They are going to try to put forward legal mechanisms to keep Joe Biden's replacement off of the ballot. They are terrified, and so is Trump. Let's pick it up yesterday afternoon with Trump on Truth Social and the meltdown just continuing overnight. Here's Trump, quote, "My debate with crooked Joe Biden, the worst president in the history of the U.S., was slated to be broadcast on fake news ABC, the home of George Slopadopoulos, sometime in September. Now that Joe has not surprisingly quit the race, I think the debate with whomever the radical left Democrats choose should be held on Fox News rather than very biased ABC. Trump is setting up not to debate Kamala Harris if that's the nominee, because she will crush him." Trump continuing, "So we are forced to spend time and money on fighting crooked Joe Biden, and he polls badly after having a terrible debate, and he quits the race. Now we have to start all over again. Shouldn't the Republican Party be reimbursed for fraud in that everybody around Joe, including his doctors and the fake news media, knew he was not capable of running for or being president? Just asking. Trump now wants money because Biden is not going to be the nominee. Can you imagine?" Trump continuing, "It's not over. Tomorrow, crooked Joe Biden's going to wake up and forget that he dropped out of the race today." Trump continuing with, quote, "Biden never had COVID. He is a threat to democracy." And then picking up on the Biden should resign angle, which we will delve into in more detail shortly. Trump saying, quote, "Who's running our capital C country right now? It's not crooked Joe. He has no idea where he is. If he can't run for office, he can't run our country." Then this morning, Trump continuing and just absolutely furious about every element of this, quote, "The Democrats pick a candidate, crooked Joe Biden. He loses the debate badly, then panics and makes mistake after mistake, is told he can't win, and decide they will pick another candidate, probably Harris. They stole the race from Biden after he won it in the primaries. A first. These people are the real threat to democracy." Remember that in the aftermath of the assassination attempt against President Trump, Trump and others were saying, calling me a threat to democracy incites violence. Now they are calling President Biden a threat to democracy. By their standard, we must interpret this as them inciting violence. And then finally this morning, Donald Trump, he's probably posted more since then, but at some point I've got to get to recording the show. I can't just keep reading his troths. Trump saying, quote, "It's a new day, and Joe Biden doesn't remember quitting the race yesterday. He is demanding his campaign schedule and arranging talks with Presidents Xi of China and Putin of Russia concerning the possible start of World War III. Biden is sharp, decisive, energetic, angry, and ready to go." So this guy is terrified and he is furious. They spent all of last week and tons of money talking about all the reasons why Joe Biden would be bad if he were the nominee and ultimately became president. And Joe Biden will not be the nominee and will not be the next president. They now need to find attacks on whoever will be the Democratic nominee. We don't know who that is, although many signs are pointing to Kamala Harris. I'll tell you what those signs are. They have spent the last 12 to 16 hours trying to attack her. And here's what they've got on her. She wants to ban plastic straws, and she laughs in a way that they don't like. That's what they have so far on Kamala Harris. So I don't know what the outcome here is going to be. What I do know is that this got to a point where the risk of sticking with Biden was as significant as the risk of changing horses midstream. And so there's going to be a change. And then as far as polling goes, without even being the nominees, Harris and many others are polling almost as well as Biden. The optimistic interpretation of that is that when one of these individuals finally is made the nominee and the American people say, wow, a lot more energy, a lot more cognitive ability, and the alternative is the oldest presidential candidate in history, that could give whoever is the nominee a 5, 8, or even 10-point boost, which would rocket them ahead of failed former President Trump. Whoever Democrats nominate, I'm sure, will not be a civilly liable rapist, will not be having cognitive issues daily, as is Trump, and will not be a convicted felon. And that, in 2024, already counts as a significant advantage. So let's take a very quick break. We will talk about the donations. We will talk about the effort to get whoever replaces Biden off the ballot. We're going to talk about all of it on one of the most consequential 24-hour, but also 2-week periods in the history of American politics. I'm glad you're here. Make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel at youtube.com/The David Pakman Show. One of today's sponsors is a book called Aim for the Uprights by Stu Crum, a former professional football player, now entrepreneur and successful business leader, including being former president of Bridgestone Tire and Jiffy Lube. He calls his new book, Aim for the Uprights, a playbook for achieving your professional and personal aspirations through intentional living. I've been talking a lot about intentionality lately. If you've tried getting up extra early, following the right personal finance practices, and yet you're still working marathon hours, depriving your family of your time day to day, missing vacations, this could be a great book for you. Aim for the Uprights proves that you can regain control of your time and career through simple choices and consistency and a zeal for trusting that small steps will get you there. It's really an instructional playbook for men and women looking to balance their lives, written by a C-suite executive with some unique insights about how to make more time for your family, friends, and what's important without sacrificing your career. It's a book that speaks to the reader rather than just throwing a bunch of stuff at the reader. Pick up your copy of Stu Crum's Aim for the Uprights today at davidpakman.com/aim. The link is in the description.